Hey everybody, Kimosabi here. Let's see if we can make sense of what's going on here. Had a nice liquidation down, well, a nice liquidation up, then a liquidation down. Um, but if I'm looking at the weekly chart, it basically looks like the patterns repeating, those two candles repeating over here, suggesting further upside. Just at a glance on the weekly, kind of looks like it's going to continue after this week concludes. Zooming into the daily chart. I have two lines there where I measured the wicks. I measured the 50% mark of those wicks just using a Fibonacci retracement and measuring only the wicks. Marked off the 50% just like I normally do. And this 50% buy setup at 94.4 is previous support. So perhaps it wicks through, grabs the liquidity, comes back down and finds support there or there. Either one of those two is where I would look for it to happen. And I'd look for sell pressure to come at 101 if it does want to come. Appear to have gotten some sell pressure and some buy pressure given this large candle. Pay no attention to the color of the candle. That doesn't matter because there was an equal amount of sells to the buys. You have an action and an equal and opposite reaction. Quoting Sir Isaac Newton. Now, what happens from here, I want to say it just pops right up and it just continues on because it's not going to give anybody a chance to buy those lows again. It's just going to run, which is quite possible. However, because the market maker took the liquidity and took the liquidity, there's no more liquidity to play with on each side of the range. So perhaps we're going to chop around here a little bit in between these two areas. So be ready for that to create a range here. Somewhere between 95 and 100K. We might just sit here for a while dancing in there because you have your stronger sellers and stronger buyers down there, and the weaker ones are on the inside, and they'll just get chucked about. So look for your buys, look for your sells, look for your buys if that comes back down there, and eventually we may grab liquidity and run. This could be a big reaccumulation formation happening. Hard to say what's going to happen in the future, but it's kind of the way I'm seeing it for now. Getting down to the 2-hour chart here, as I explained in I think it was 2 videos ago, the expectation was to break the highs and the market maker would have too many orders on his hands and he'd have to flush them down and bring them back all the way down here, I suppose. I was hoping maybe he'd consolidate here and get them up there, but he came a lot lower. Stopped me out at half my stuff that I didn't take profit on, and I had to re-enter on that order block. Had to act quick. But that's why you have a plan and you pay attention to what's going on. And if you happen to be alerts, you happen to hear the alerts that your stop losses got hit, then you can take advantage of it. So this came down to a 1272. For Elliott wave theory, that's pretty perfect for a running flat. I think another exchange got an expanded flat and actually took out the lows, but Coinbase did not. It just took out the local lows. It still looks like a very good running flat. Elliott wave theory. Very, very sharp C leg down. Fits perfectly. We may come back and revisit all the way down to the low. We may take that out. We may come down a little further. Totally possible. We'll see what Friday brings. Clean up the chart here. Structure's not broken on any significant time frame. I think the 4-hour still has a higher high and higher low going on. The daily definitely does. So it should still be good. I mean, if the daily is still in an uptrend, your 4 hours in an uptrend, just wait for the hourly to get into an uptrend and you can get going. So I'd look for a buy setup, hopefully, down here at 94.5 to add some more and look to take some profits at the 101. If I had to draw this out, I would match this leg here with this leg here. That leg came down to here. The closing price, it works perfectly, excluding the wick. So that is a completed move down. Now what we're doing appears to be a repeat of this leg. So now what I'm watching for is this leg to show up at some point, maybe for New York Open, to get down to maybe 95, hopefully as low as 94. We will see, but I will look for some kind of uptrend to come just under the daily open on a 1 hour or 15-minute and try to take it up to here and potentially up to those highs. Because if this pattern is the completed pattern, what may follow, which would be really bullish, will be this leg. It would just go straight up here. And then you consolidate above 100,000 for the weekend. For now, any buy setups that I'm taking, I really don't want to see this low taken out. This had a lot of liquidity taken here. I mean, preferably, you don't even want to get close to it. But you have support here. This may act as previous support, act as support again, or you just get a real shallow drop just to take out that wick right there. And then you start going up from there. The timing may be crucial. It may be a New York Open at like 8 a.m. I have heard that the options expiry on IBIT at the end of New York session is max pain would be at 53, which would suggest that we're not going to go up much higher until the end of the day, until after New York closes. I think they want to keep the price in the max pain scenario, which would be around 97, 96 area, maybe as low as 94 to close out New York session, and then maybe they release it after that. But this is a perfect example why we keep the stops tight. We always have the stop loss, takes you out of the position, because if this was to close down here, I wouldn't like it. So I would try to buy it because of the order block and taking out all the liquidity. But if this didn't bounce and just kind of hovered around here, I wouldn't like it. I'd just exit. Say I want something else. I want some kind of higher high, higher low to happen, and I'll buy it up there instead. But yeah, getting stopped out of the position, I was able to actually profit off of my stop losses and then enter again at the same price I did yesterday. I entered, I think it was there I entered. And I think I entered another one down lower on a very low time frame. But yeah, I re-entered right about there again after this wick happened a few times. And it's like, okay, enter there, grab a little bit, brought it up. Now I'm looking to add to that. Stop losses at the low. And hopefully we get the 101 and maybe up to 105. Take that liquidity and then chop for the weekend. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Looking to trade it up because the structures are not broken. We're still in an uptrend. We have a mid-cycle low, according to Camel Finance. I like the way this looks. So keep the stop tight. Loss goes there. Have a good night.